So, when did you realize hair loss was a problem for you?
Well, that's a great question. I kind of was in denial. I remember being at my niece's wedding. It was a year and a half ago, May, and I saw all my sisters. I'm blessed with a very large family, and I have five sisters. Now I have four, lost one to cancer. And we were all taking pictures together. Uh, the girls are different ages. The oldest one was the one with the cancer, and then we have four girls in 5 years. And her hair's always been very similar, and we were taking pictures together. And I am second youngest of the five, and I realized that their hair, all of my sister's hair, even the sister who was suffering with cancer and undergoing treatments, was far thicker and fuller than mine. I also noticed I really couldn't do anything with it for the wedding. It was very flat, and I thought, oh, it's probably the conditioner. I'm just not doing it right. It was in a different country with a different humidity. I thought, oh, maybe it's those factors.
Wow, so that must have been really confusing and scary. What did you do next?
It was confusing and scary, but I thought, oh, no big deal. It'll be fine. And again, I kind of went into denial, and I thought I'll change conditioners. Really wasn't paying attention. Um, then that July, a friend of mine was doing my hair. I was blessed to be able to be a guest coach for the Phoenix Suns at Summer League. And so, of course, as a guest coach, you have to have someone do your hair. And she was doing my hair, and she was curling it, and it was kind of odd. She was saying, oh. I said, what? She said, I'll tell you later. And she didn't want to upset me because I'm going to, having this big guest coach gig. And then later on, she said, I have to talk to you. She said, you're way too young. You've got empty patches on your scalp. There's no hair. She said, this isn't right. You need to get it checked. So I went to my first dermatologist, and he told me I had scarring alopecia and I'd be bald in about a year. Well, I was shocked and devastated. And after that point, I reached out to him for more assistance. He wasn't responsive, so I went to the second dermatologist. She said I didn't have scarring alopecia. I asked her if we could do blood tests or a scalp biopsy to really find out what was going on. She was quite busy. So then I went to my third dermatologist, who was fantastic. And she said, yes, we're going to do a scalp biopsy and we're going to take blood. And we did that, and she diagnosed me with androgenic alopecia, which was such a relief because you can do something about it. So she's an absolute fabulous doctor, and she talked to me about nutrition. She talked to me about health. She talked to me about stress. And she indicated that I needed to make these changes both in my nutrition. Supplements really was what she focused me to. Topical solutions, she suggested some, and she also talked to me about stress. So then that's when it really started.
So, what happened next? What kind of solution or game plan did you guys develop?
Well, this was in August, I guess, of 2017 now. And what I started to do was I like to consider myself to be pretty healthy, and I used to take a lot of supplements. Well, I stopped taking supplements a couple years ago just because honestly, I just got too busy and didn't have the time. So I kind of stopped taking any vitamins. So I started to read and research. I am OCD and ADHD, and once I sink my teeth into something, look out. So I started to research what the hair needed from a nutritional perspective and what could really help the hair. And I found that there wasn't any one product that would really work well for me. So I started to put together my whole supplement regimen. I had probably 50 bottles of supplements, and I put them together, and I would do it so that I would package them up so I could take them with me and take them twice a day. Because what I learned was that the soluble vitamins, once they're out of your system, they're gone. You've got to keep replenishing. So I put together a twice daily regimen, and everybody was making fun of me because they'd come to my house and there's little teeny piles of vitamins all over the place, and I'd try to do a month or two supply at a time, put them into those little Ziploc baggie, the snack bags, and have a stack with them and make sure I threw them in my handbag, took them with me when I traveled. That was the nutritional aspect. The topical aspect was I went and got basic 5% minoxidil, just the stuff off the shelf, And then I started kind of turbocharging it with, nasalic acid and retinols and other things, and shaking it up and using that on my head religiously twice a day. I used it. It kind of made the hair sticky, which it was okay. It certainly works, but I would start to kind of play with it for myself to reformulate it so it didn't bother me because I don't wash my hair every day. So that was the next thing I did.
Well, that sounds pretty time consuming, maybe even costly.
It was. But I didn't really have a choice because there was no solution on the market that was easy to use and complete. And the other thing I did with my supplements too is I made sure that it was also all my daily supplements, not just hair-based supplements, but everything I need in one pack, so I could go. And then the third thing I did, which really was probably one of the most important things, was understand that I needed to de-stress, that I need to make changes in my life because the high cortisol levels and the hormone levels were really also not helping at all. And then there's one more little thing I did, which was scalp. I started to understand scalp health. In addition to putting exfoliators on, like you would your skin, like the salts, the caffeines, anything, bamboo, that kind of thing. I even put cornmeal on my head as an exfoliator. It actually works pretty well. Can't get it out, but it does a good job. I started to do that as well as mechanical scalp massagers to loosen up all of the crud that gets stuck on your scalp, because we as women put stuff on our hair, we may use a spray, we may use other products, and we don't wash every day. So that's the other thing I did, and it was pretty helpful.
You sound really committed to this. Seems like this was a serious issue for you.
It was devastating. You see me happy now. I cried and cried and cried. When the first doctor told me I was going to be bald in a year, I thought, who's going to want me? Who's going to want a woman in her 50s with no hair? I'll be alone for the rest of my life. And I know that might sound vain or trivial, but it's true. It was really important to me. And I felt like I got my life back.